Hi all. So I want to do a quick lesson showing you ways you can create thesis statements for the final exam essay. So thesis statement formulas. So the first two that I'm showing you are ways that you can agree or disagree with a statement. So here is a template. The blank that is X is Y is a blank one and one that I believe. So here you see vocabulary words that you can put in the blank spaces, and are four vocabulary words that you could put here. So how would that look in for us? So say that the essay question, the final essay exam question, one of them is it is necessary for a person to challenge social norms to be happy. Do you agree or disagree? Why or why not? Okay, so to use this template that we see here, we could construct this thesis statement. The belief that challenging a social norm is necessary for happiness is difficult to accept, but it is one that I believe. Okay, so that is one way you could do that. So, belief that the belief that challenging a social norm is necessary for happiness is difficult to accept, but it is one that I believe. Okay. And then the person would construct an essay with three major points that defend this thesis statement. So another way to disagree or agree, would be to write a thesis statement using this formula, which is more math leaning. So for you mathematically inclined folks, this might be a good one for you. Excuse me. So here we see A equals P even though O. Okay, so that is the thesis statement formula for this thesis statement. So in this example, the thesis is for an argument essay about the importance of art to society. So the thesis statement is the homoerotic art of Robert Mapplethorpe deserves to be exhibited at public expense, even though most people find it offensive. So this thesis statement might be represented by the following formula. A is art equals P public funding, even though O offensive. A equals P even though O. Okay, so how that would play out in constructing a thesis statement could be like this. So same question that we had before. Is it necessary for a person to challenge it is necessary for a person to challenge social norms to be happy. Do you agree or disagree? Why or why not? So challenging social norms, while often difficult, will ultimately make a person happy by staying true to who they are. So A equals the challenging norms and P equals happiness. So they're making they're equating these two concepts that being happy is challenging social norms, and challenging social norms will make you happy, even though it is difficult, right? It's hard to challenge social norms. Um, you can make a lot of people around you happy, but ultimately, if what you value as a person is to be true to yourself, then you are supporting that endeavor. So, if you want to discuss a theme shared by both readings, you can use the following thesis statement formula. So, in titles of work, authors, interesting verb, and important part of work as a way to blank concept from the prompt, right? So, you want to reference the prompt here. So for the same question, how would you use this, right? In titles of work, author's interesting verb, an important part of work as a way to blank, right? A concept from the prompt. So here in the essays, disobedience as a psychological and moral problem and the case for Black joy, Eric Fromm and Hadia Roderique explore how an individual's disobedience changes society and the individual for the better. Okay, so better as a reference to happy from the prompt. So here excuse me, we have the genre of the works. So we have Disobedience and Black Joy as references to the title of the essays. I abbreviated it here for the slides, but do write it out when you're doing your essay. Eric Fromm and Hadia Roderique explore, right? So here's the verb, how an individual's disobedience changes society and the individual for the better, right? So here we're referencing, we're using a theme, right, in both essays, and then here is a reference to the question. So another way you could write a thesis statement is by making the argument that x equals y. So x equals y because 1, 2, 3. So these are 3 points. So 3 is a good number because then you have your first body paragraph, your second body paragraph, and then your third body paragraph. So you're listing it. So when I see a thesis statement like this, I'm aware that there are going to be 3 body paragraphs that support it. So, same question, right? So how would we write out a thesis statement using this formula, x equals y, because 1, 2, 3? While difficult, challenging social norms will make a person happier because they are being true to themselves, making society a better place, and inspiring those around them to improve themselves and or society. Okay, so the argument here is that challenging social norms will make a person happier. And the because is an important vocabulary word because that is the rationale that the writer is using. So this is also a very good one to use um, for the final exam. Okay, so those are some ways to write your thesis statement formulas or your thesis statements. And I'll be putting these slides up on Blackboard as well.